Hello and welcome to Amethyst Star Crafting. My name is Jane Allmark and I'm a UK independent Stampin' Up demonstrator. And today we're looking at the Celebration stamp set, The Gang's All Meer. Absolutely sweet, beautiful stamp set. It is free with a £45 order. And you can see you can do so many things with these cute little meerkats, and they have the most adorable little faces and will make beautiful cards, little sort of lizardy things, some hats, some nice sentiments. Happy birthday to a stand-up friend. We're here for you from all of us. And there's this lovely cactus as well. So I thought we would do something different today, and we're going to make a masculine birthday card. Cards for men can always be a little bit difficult, so I thought we would do one with here, and we're going to use this lovely cactus. So we need a scrap, and this is going to measure the width of our card. So it measures, for me, it measures 5 1/4 inches by 1 1/4 inches. So just a little piece, and it is going to go landscape across your card on the inside panel. So we're going to take the cactus, and we're just going to take a block, and we're going to put the cactus down. It's got lovely little sort of rooty things on there. So put it on like that, and then use a good black ink. Okay, and we are going to stamp this. Excuse me if my head comes in, but we are going to stamp this along, and it will fit just perfectly in on here. And then we can do the next one along and just run it all the way along. So that's 3, 4, and we can probably get 5 across like that. Okay, so we've done 5 of those lovely cactuses, and then we are going to take our Aqua Painter. You can take a paintbrush and some water if you don't have an Aqua Painter, but this makes a very simple way of colouring it in, and you can make it really bright and vibrant. So I'm using my Simply Chamois for cleaning the stamp set and putting it back, because it's always good to put things back as you go. And then with our Aqua Painter, we are going to do the cactus. So I have chosen for the cactus Mossy Meadow and Granny Apple Green, because I wanted dark and light. And the best way to do this is if you take a block and literally just put one colour one side and the other colour on the other side, it will then give you a palette. So I've done the Mossy Meadow this side, and I'm just going to put some of the Granny Apple Green the other side. You don't need a lot, it goes a long way. And then with our Aqua Painter, we're going to take the dark first of all. Just take a bit of this colour, and we are going to just go around the outside, down at the bottom a little bit, and then down on the other side. Now I'm only going to do one of these. In fact, I might do 2, just because I fancy doing 2. Don't think I'm going to be able to get all of them done in time, because I think it'll take a bit long, but just go round down the outside of each one, and this is just simple cardstock. You don't need anything fancy. You can obviously do it with watercolour if you want to, but this is a very quick and easy way of doing it. So just down on the bottom and down on the other side. And down on the other side. Then I take a bit of kitchen roll, because by using a bit of kitchen roll you can you can clean your colour off nicely. So just squeeze it and clean it until it comes clean. You don't want too much water on it. So then we're going to take the Granny Apple Green, which is the bright colour, and we are going to take that and put that in on the centre. And again with this, you can take it sort of up to the edge, so you're blending it in a little bit. And then just do exactly the same on the other. So you've got these really nice sort of vibrant cactuses with dark on the outside, and as I say, you can use your Aqua Painter to just bring in those other little areas that you might not have just covered as well as you could have done. And it also helps just blend it in a little bit. And we've got that in the centre there. Take the next one, and again you can see how quickly you can work it through. Now you can use our watercolour pencils, you can use our blends, but this, for me, I find this one of the easiest ways of doing it and working it through. So I'm just literally just taking it down round on the side here and up on here. Okay, now if you wanted to, and you wanted to make it a little darker, you can go over it again a few times. So what I've done on the first one, to get it a bit darker, I went over the dark green again and just took that down on the side to just give it another layer, because as long as you don't saturate your paper, you won't get pilling and you won't get it bubbling, because you do it quite lightly. So I'm just going to do that one, clean that off again, and then take the darker green and just go in over on that edge piece on here and bring it in, and you can see how you're just sort of blending it and you just get it slightly darker. So you can build it up as you go. And then we are going to take, so I'm just going to clean this off so I haven't got that colour on there. Okay, so that's all I need, and the easiest way of cleaning your block is to literally just clean it up on your kitchen roll, or you can do it on your Simply Chamois. I'm just doing it on my kitchen roll and then I'll put it in the sink afterwards. So let's just turn that inside out so I don't get green all over myself. And then I've chosen the Flirty Flamingo to go on the top. So again, just literally put a little piece on there. Take your Aqua Painter and we're just going to take the little pink part of the flower over the top. And just, as I say, colour it across. I find using the Aqua Painter, for me, is one of the easiest ways of colouring, because it goes quite quickly and you can also get some lovely colour tones on there. So that's all the pink I'm going to do on there. Now I do want something that's, I'm going to take a little bit of Melon Mambo, I think, and I'm just going to take a tiny little bit of Melon Mambo on the corner here, because that's a little bit darker. And let me just clean that brush off again. And I want it fairly dry, so I'm drying it with my fingers, and I'm going to take the Melon Mambo and I'm just going to put it just down at the bottom, just on the lines, which just gives a little bit of darkness just down at the bottom there. So just down on the bottom, and as I say, you only need a tiny little bit, just bring it along, and then when it dries it gives that little shadow at the bottom. Get that last little bit up on there. Okay, so that's just given us that little bit of darkness at the bottom, which gives just a little bit of a shadow. And as I say, I'm no expert at doing watercolouring at all, but I find by using the Aqua Painter like this, it does make it really, really easy. And doing a little palette, you're then not using too much. Okay, and then we are going to just do some crumb cake down at the bottom. So again, I'm just going to take a little bit of the crumb cake on here, and this time I want it a little bit wetter because I want to do a wash with it. So I'm just going to add just a little drop of water in on here, not overly much. Take it in on here so it's just a little bit wetter, and we're just going to take that from the bottom and just sort of bring it across, so that what happens is that it will run across, and then you can pick some more up as you go. And because it's quite loose, so it's quite watered down, it goes on quite well, and it just blends in quite nicely. So you've then got the ground for there. Okay, so that's our colouring done. And you can see you've got these lovely cactuses. And I always remember my grandfather, many, many years ago, had a greenhouse. And he used to grow beautiful cactuses in his greenhouse. And they would flower at certain times of the year. Sometimes at Christmas and sometimes sort of around Easter time. And they looked absolutely beautiful. So what I've done with this is I have mounted it on a piece of... I've chosen a piece of cardstock which coordinates as you want. I've chosen quite a neutral colour, so any out of our neutrals will work. And I've just cut a strip which is 1/8 of an inch wider to give a little border. And I've already glued that down. So we've got that piece there like that with a little border. Then I've taken a coordinating piece, and this is from the Bright 6x6 Designer Series paper, because I wanted something that would sort of tie it in. And I've just chosen a piece of the Granny Apple Green, and I've cut a strip. This strip is 1 1/8 by 5 1/4, and that's going to go on the bottom. So we've got a piece of cardstock, which is the white cardstock, and I'm going to put this down on the bottom. Now, whatever if you're taking a piece of landscape, so let's take your piece of landscape, let's do it this way around. So whatever your card is, cutting in half, scored, and you've got a landscape piece. So as I say, I work in A4. Then you're going to have a neutral blank, which is 1/4 of an inch smaller. So this one is 5 1/4 by 3 3/4. So that piece is going to be put down on here, and we can stick that down straight away because we don't need any more going on there. I am going to put the whole thing together because being a masculine card, I want to tie it in with neutrals and masculine colours. So this is going to go in here like that, and we'll put that down. Then our mat is 1/4 of an inch smaller again. So this is 3 1/2 by 5 1/4, and that's going to go in on here. I'm not going to put this down because we're going to put a bit of linen thread on here. So our little panel is going to go right down at the bottom on here. So let's just stick that on, and you can choose whatever colours you want. I just wanted this, and I could have chosen the check side, but I just wanted it to have the slightly plainer because it's going to be for a guy, and I think it would just work a little bit better. So we're just going to stick this right down at the bottom. Sort of slide it into place. That's one of the good things about wet glue. You can just sort of slide it into place. So that's going at the bottom. Then we've got this panel, and this panel is going to go just on the top like that. So we can put that on. And then I have cut a little happy birthday, and the happy birthday is from this set, which is Happy Birthday to a Stand-Up Friend. All I did was put a piece of washi tape over this part, inked it up, pulled the washi tape away, so we just had the happy birthday. So this piece is going to go in on here, and I'm gluing the whole lot down because I think there's going to be enough layers without putting extra dimension and stuff on here. So we're just going to put this one in on here. Get it the right way up. And we want this to sort of come just about in the centre here. So let's just make sure that that's about centered on there, and we're just going to put that down. And then this little happy birthday piece, we could put that up with dimensionals. Shall we put it up with dimensionals, or just no? I'm going to stick it down because I don't, as I say, I don't want too many layers on it. I just want it to just come quite simply, because then it's something that can be posted. So we're just going to put this up, and we'll have it just in the center like that on there. Okay, now this piece down the bottom, I have got some linen thread, and I thought it would look quite nice to have some of the linen thread down at the bottom. So you could put whatever you want. I didn't want to have ribbon because it was going to be for a guy. I wanted to have something that was just going to be tied in quite nicely. So I think I'm just going to put it across like that at the bottom. I think that'll work quite nicely. Yes, okay, so what I need to do is I need to just put a little bit of snail. Says me, let me get my snail out. Okay, so I'm just going to put a little bit of snail to just adhere that that twine on. Sure, I've got that the right way up. So we'll have that. It's going to be, where's the bottom piece there? So I'm just going to do a line down on there and a line down on there. And then we can just put this to try and get the linen thread straight. If you just run your nail down it, then it will straighten it out a bit more. So, and I'm going to do it before I've cut it off. So we'll take our first piece and just put it in on here like this. So that's just stuck in. Then we can have it down to the bottom, round down to the bottom that side, and then oops, got caught over the side of my paper, up to the top, and then just stick that piece on like that. Okay, then I can just take my scissors and just snip that off like that. So as I say, any ribbon, thread, twine that you want to put on, you can do, and you can obviously colour it in as you want. So that's on there. Then I'm going to just make sure that's stuck down. I'm going to take my card, make sure that it's opening the right way, and then we can just take this. Now this piece is just a little bit over, but I don't think it will matter too much because I think once it's on, it'll just sort of blend into the background. So I'm just being a little bit cautious over where I've got my twine. But putting the wet glue in there, and then I'm going to put some in on top and a little line in on the front. So that sort of just goes in quite nicely, and I know that it's not going to bobble up in the air. Down on there. Okay, so let's turn this round and just line that up. In on there like that. And there we have a rather fun, nice, masculine card using the, let's get some of my rubbish out of the way, using the Gang's-All Meer and creating a rather nice, fun, simple, easy card to do using the cactus. So, thank you so much for watching me. Do look forward to seeing you again. Bye-bye.